First I want to say that I've been a resident of Jersey City for 7 years. My daughter's in the public school system.
A little louder, please.
I'm heavily invested in the community, and I'm quite certain that my daughter's going to go to a public high school here in Jersey City. It's also been really heartening to see, although very, very different points of view tonight, the number of people who are passionate about the schools and passionate about this community coming up and addressing and staying this late. It makes me feel very good about being a father and a parent in the community. My mom worked in public education all her life, and I'm familiar with some of the challenges with running a large school system. The pressures that are on it, certainly budget crises and things like that, weigh on all of us. So that I could be a little better educated just as a citizen and as a participant here, I'd like to ask a couple of basic questions because I literally just don't know the answers. And I wanted to ask, Dr. Epps, how long have you been the superintendent? I mean, I know that, have you been the superintendent for?
Ask your questions and then we'll have them answer.
Okay, how long have you been the superintendent?
That's the first one. What's the second?
The superintendent. The other thing I'd like to ask is, what is the high school graduation rate of Jersey City Public Schools? Those are my two questions, and then
Those are your two questions?
those are my two questions, yeah.
Dr. Epps, can you tell us how long?
So why do you want to know how long I've been superintendent? I need to know that. I'm going to question you back.
I want to know because I want to know, I'm a citizen, do I not have a right to ask that question?
No, you do have a right, and I have a right. I just want to know why you want to know. I'll be happy to tell you. It's not a secret, my man.
I want to get an idea of your performance over the period of time that you've had the job.
I didn't understand the word you just said.
I want to get an idea of your performance over the period of time you've had the job.
Well, that would not help you. That would not help
This
you.
is silly. How long have you had the job?
Now, since you're going to ask me like that, I'm not going to respond to you in that kind of fashion. Understand I can't.
All right, then I'll ask another question. What are the high school graduation rates? My daughter is going to go to one of these schools. What are the high school graduation rates of students who have passed the high school?
I can provide you the high school rates. We have our social superintendent here in charge of the high schools. If you want that, you give me your email address and I'll email you all that information that you might need, sir.
Can you confirm that the graduation rate of students who passed the high school performance exam at Snyder was 21.5%?
I cannot confirm that.
Can you confirm that Ferris was 58%?
I cannot confirm.
Can you confirm that at Lincoln it was only 33.5%? Or that at Dickinson it was 48.7%? Now, I heard one parent come up tonight to say, when we talked about the idea of instituting a search, that we should be careful about what we're going to get because we don't know what we're going to get, and that is true. And I've heard someone else say that the idea of instituting a search, a nationwide search for a new superintendent, was a personal attack, and it isn't. It isn't. What it's about is the fact that we all have an investment here in our children. And there are high schools here where where less than half of them graduate. I mean, whatever we can say about the school system and the amazing teachers who work in it, and the toil and tribulations that they go through with budgets, with different bureaucratic problems, of which I am incredibly sympathetic and supportive, we can't accept those numbers. We can't. And we have to find a way to prove to the federal government that can offer us more funding that we're just going to do everything we can to make sure that we're showing everyone that we're willing to do everything we can. Now, Dr. Epps, I absolutely believe that you come to this job with the 100% commitment to make sure that you do the best for every student here, and I don't doubt that. But I do have to question the results over time. And I believe that that questioning is fair. And I think that it is a smart and just thing for us as a community to look and find who can provide us national answers or new ideas. And if these things can be integrated as a result of the search, and if you turn out to be the best person for the job, then I will wholeheartedly support you in that. but I believe that we have a responsibility to ask those questions.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Vice President Maxfield.
I'm just trying to look through my calendar. I really think that a question of how long somebody's been in employment is a legitimate question. I don't think people should have, I understand you're not going to answer it, I'm going to answer it, I think. I was the board president from 2000 to 2002. At that time, we were under state control, but our superintendent at the time, Richard DePatri, left to go to Florida, accepted an assignment in Florida. And at that time, I can't pin it down, it was sometime during my tenure that the board president and vice president were asked to sit on a committee with the state to do a national search. And as a result of that, we chose Dr. Charles Epps. Now, he's had, to my knowledge, it's somewhere between 8 and 10 years, but I'm just pointing that out, that I wouldn't have had to say that if the question was answered.
Kristen Green.